Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brummel, joined by Ethan Euchre and world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonatti of the Bonatti Spine Institute. Well, we're excited because we have John Stossel, investigative journalist and libertarian columnist and host of Stossel on Fox Business, joining us on the phone. So we're big fans of your show, John, and
you have such good judgment.
I would say so. We've been fans of you from many, many moons ago.
60 minutes.
2020. We want to ask, what is your take on Obamacare, the supposed Affordable Health Care Act? And then we'd like to also touch on the ongoing veteran scandal.
My take is what I learned from 25 years of consumer reporting is that the market works better than anything else, imperfect as it is. And we don't have it in medicine. Republicans often say, well, they're killing the free market in medicine. But we haven't had that since we gave special tax preference to company insurance policies. So the only way a market really works is when the individual deals directly with the provider.
Right.
So you want spine surgery, you go to the doctor, and the doctor says it's going to cost you this, or you're poor, I'll make you this deal in chickens. Whatever it is, it needs to be one-on-one, where then the patient shops around and decides, do I really want this procedure or not? And you can say, well, they don't have enough information to know if they need spine surgery or heart treatment. It's not a market. But it is. Everything can be a market. Cars are more complex than anybody can understand, and yet we have good competition in cars, likewise computers and cell phones. You just need a few people who are passionate and study it or are experts, and through word of mouth, the good news and the bad news spread, and everybody improves. You look at the one area in medicine where you got a free market, or two really, plastic surgery and LASIK eye surgery, procedures where the patient pays himself. And what's happened? The prices have come down, and the quality has gone up. The doctors give out their cell phone numbers to patients because they have to compete for patients and keep them happy.
Right.
But Obamacare makes this sort of other people deciding for you destruction of the individual choice that makes a market work. Obamacare accelerates that.
What are your thoughts on the constitutionality of it, John? Because that seems to come up again and again. Is this something that the president should have the authority to make people purchase health care?
No, but the Constitution is not my specialty.
Right.
Okay, nor is it President Obama's, I do believe.
And I do wish that people would get the difference between rights. You have a right for this. Well, you have a right to be left alone. And the Constitution is filled with that. The right to free speech means you have the right not to have someone order you to shut up or to order you not to practice your religion. But to say you have a right to health care means that you have a right to take stuff from other people, to force other people to give you money to pay a doctor or to force a doctor to treat you. That's very different.
I really think that the major trouble that we have is that physicians themselves are irresponsible to the patient care and medicine. They corner themselves. They talk a lot in the operating rooms or in some type of meetings that they have, but they never go and say, we are not going to accept this. I really think if physicians once for all will pay attention and will say our patients are going to suffer, the quality of medicine is going to go away, and we are going to suffer, and we're going to be employees of a government, that is terrifying. And it's terrifying because look at the joke that they have right now with the VA. The VA is practically a Cadillac of what Obamacare is going to be. And one of the problems is that you see that right now they have a TRICARE that is a type of a service that they give to the vets, that they can go to see physicians outside, and they block constantly. It's a sabotage at veterans that they seek civilian care. And then they don't pay the doctors. And then they have a tiny little type of a service that they call an accountability system. So they take months to pay the civilian doctor, and the next thing that happens is they ask for your records, and then they try to bully you to create irresponsible type of a billing. So the doctors are not going to take the vets. That is exactly what every time happens in anybody who is living with a governmental type of a system. So American Medical Association talks about representing physicians. That's a joke. American Medical Association is a crappy type of an association of 16,000 individuals that they serve, that they are associated with. Is a political thing, and more than anything, they serve practically insurance. So the next thing that happens is representing doctors. That is something that we need to reorganize, and we need to create a system where the physicians are going to organize and going to say, we will serve the patients, and we will take the responsibility of the system. What do you think about that, John?
You raised several points. I don't agree with your last point. We have to organize. You can't organize. People have tried to find ways to organize to make things better forever. Mm-hmm. That's what communism was. Mm-hmm. If you have a market, then the doctor and the patient quickly figure out what works best for them. Everybody makes changes to solve it every 2 seconds. If you have an organization, then nobody makes changes because you got to follow the rule book. You make changes every 4 years when there's an election. The AMA is no worse than every other trade association. The kind of people who like to run for election and then meet, have long meetings in windowless rooms, are the kind of people who join the Dental Association and the Farm Association. They're the bureaucrats. They become leftists. AARP is supposed to represent old people. Mm-hmm. It's become a socialist organization wanting to suck more money out of the government. Yes, what you say about the VA is true, that they're going to stiff the doctors when they can, and there'll be a balancing act, as there is with private insurance companies. They want to delay payment. They want to make sure it's a real treatment, and to do that, they try to do it with paperwork, and maybe the doctor will lose interest and won't bill. But somebody has to say no, because somebody's going to ration care. Either it's going to be the insurance company, or it's going to be the government, or you. And ideally, it's you, because you know best which choices you want to make. I mean, people are outraged that women have paid more for health insurance, and that's been banned by our pompous politicians. But women should pay more for health insurance because women go to the doctor twice as often.
That is true. My wife uses the health insurance way more than I ever do. So I agree with you on that point, John.
Right. If you're going to call it insurance and not just a handout program, then women should pay more. And if you're paying yourself, then you make a decision. Well, and maybe women are smarter for all I know, because women do live longer. Maybe that's one of the reasons.
We have more preventative care, John.
I don't presume to know. But only when the individual has to pay some more for that extra appointment do you decide, gee, I'd rather fund my kid's tuition.
I like what you say about organization. I am against anything organized, because I absolutely agree with that. But the problem is we are in a jam. We need to get the physicians to respect the patient care, and we need to get the physicians to respect medicine. And to do that needs to be a voice, needs to be somebody or some group or some type of a very, very strong group that is going to limit the action of the legal system against medicine, limit the intrusion of politicians against against the medicine, eliminate insurance that they are trying to tell you after they deal with you that they are going to pay you whatever they want. But you need to have some representation. Call them whatever. I call them organization, and I think that's the wrong name. But help me to understand, how do you see one physician without really the backup of the system, can defend medicine and the patient.
No, you make a good point. I mean, he can do it by saying, "I'm going to withdraw from Medicare and insurance, and if you want to see me, I'm going to bring cash, or I'll do charity work sometimes." But most can't afford to do that, and most of the money is with insurance companies and Medicare. And yes, you need leaders. There are free market medicine groups, Manhattan Institute. There's some woman in Arizona who's passionate about it, and politicians. But look, people have lives. You talk about the success of Fox, and we crush the cable competitors, and yet we get, on a good night, 3% of the audience. Most people are not interested in this, don't want to do the work. You doctors are busy, and my daughter's a third-year doctor now, and she sees this horrible stuff happening, and it's over at her hospital where they just waste money on unnecessary stuff. But it feels like you can't fight it in the system, and I don't know that you can. Germany and Japan did so well economically after World War II. Why? Because we bombed them to smithereens, and they had to start totally over, and all their old rules and guilds and sleazy collaboration between business people and governments were thrown out the window. And that clean start, it's the same thing happened in Hong Kong and the East Asian tiger countries. They've prospered because they were free to make their own choices.
John, I have a question for you. I know you talk about the difference, and I'm hoping you can explain it here on our show. What is the difference between capitalism and what you call crapitalism?
Capitalism is the free markets. No privileges, no bailouts, no special deals. If you can't win over the customers, if you make a bad bet and lose money, you go out of business, you lose your money. Crapitalism is when you either get bailed out by government or you get special government deals, whether it's contracts because you're a woman or you're Hispanic, or whether it's a subsidy to produce this or that product. So it's crony capitalism, and often the reason you get it is because you know somebody, and because the politician can't possibly look over the whole country and know when the next, say, Facebook is coming, or know when the next cancer cure. Nobody has a clue where this will erupt. My brother gets grants from the NIH. He's lived on those for years, but he's 70 years old, and the inventions come from 26-year-olds. But the government doesn't know who the innovative 26-year-olds are.
What do you think about the people that are receiving any sort of entitlements not being able to vote, because then that would ensure a voter base? Do you subscribe to the thought process of if they're on it and they utilize it, that's one thing, but then that negates them from having a vote to keep it continuing?
I hadn't heard that one. Good luck selling it politically. Just remember, almost everybody is on the dole now in some way. We're anybody over 65, anybody poor, we're getting subsidies. I get one when I ride the subway in New York. Be very hard to sort out who can vote and who can't.
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate your time. John Stossel, investigative journalist and libertarian columnist and host of Stossel on Fox Business.
I'm sure Doc could talk to John all day long, but we're out of time. Any parting words, Doc?
Yeah, but I like to end saying thank you for your participation with us, and I'd like to get in touch with you. You are so brilliant. We need to have people like you to help us to come up from this mess.
Amen.
Well, thank you very much, and I hate to end on such an insulting note as to say I'm so glad I did not get spine surgery when they told me I should, and I went to this guy, Dr. Sarno, who says your back pain is in your head. How come everybody got back pain when they cured ulcers? I read his book, and that cured me and Greg Gutfeld, Howard Stern, several people at Fox News.
Wow.
Okay.
But if you ever need it in the future.
When you're really hurt, then we'll talk again.
All right. Appreciate it, John. Have a great day. John Stossel, everybody. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
And he's out.
Oh, you are listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970 WFLA. If you or someone you know is suffering in pain, reach out to the Bonati Spine Institute, 855-267-0483 or Bonati.com. Coming up after the break, we're going to hear what's new in American medicine today. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years, and it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results, no pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone, nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now, I can garden, I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.